Hello and welcome. Please take a seat. So you must be my 2 o'clock appointment here for the complimentary skin analysis. Okay, to begin, I'll just get you to confirm your name before I start to put my specs on so I can see what I'm writing. Yep. So you made an online booking, okay. Yep, and just spell your surname for me. Yeah, good, that's what I've got here, fantastic. And also you supplied a phone number, can you tell me that? And email address. Right, okay, so I'll just grab your address. Postcode? Okay. And date of birth? Really? Oh, you look much younger. I would never have guessed. Okay. So your age, 20, this one. Great. Okay. So how did you hear about Joli's Beauty Salon? Okay. Nice. Yeah, great. Okay. Now, before we begin, I'll just say you're under no obligation today with your skincare diagnosis. I'll just be asking you a few questions, checking out your skin, and just finding what concerns you have and addressing those concerns and just coming up with a potential action plan. So you're under no obligation to make a booking for the salon or buy particular products. However, obviously, if you wish to, by the end of this, you're more than welcome. But primarily today, we want to find an action plan that you can implement to look after your skin that best suits you. Okay. Alright, back to the questions. Okay, so first off, do you have any special skincare issues you'd like to address? Yeah, those can be issues for a fair whack of people, definitely. You're not alone. That's okay, no need to feel, shy or embarrassed or whatever. I know, because I'm a beautician, a lot of people think that I might be judgy. I'm not at all. We all have skin. We all have issues related to that skin. Each one of us, none of us is perfect. And so I'm just here to address those. I don't judge. I don't, make any sort of negative observations. I'm just here to find out what's going to work for you. Okay. So just be as truthful, as factual as you like. There's no judgments here. Okay. So which skincare products are you currently using? Cleanser? Eye cream? Shower gel or soap, any kind of body wash, face wash? What about toner? And moisturiser? Do you moisturise daily? Weekly, monthly? Okay. Soap. Do you use soap in the shower? What about just generally, I suppose, obviously outside the shower as well? Just on your hands? Okay. Exfoliant. How often do you exfoliate? Yeah, you're pretty much along with most other people in that regard, absolutely. And what about skin serums? Okay, interesting. And sunscreen. Sunscreen's a big one. Yeah, there's a little bit of contention around sunscreen. Yeah, that's true, because often they contain carcinogens, and so you're sort of going out to protect yourself from the sun, but to not give yourself cancer while using a product that can produce or that contains things that are carcinogenic. So yeah, I haven't found one that I particularly would recommend. I'm pretty sure there are some decent ones out there, but I don't know any off the top of my head. Okay, and what about masks, like clay masks, gel masks? And self-tanning lotions, do you do much of that? Okay. Oh, and I forgot to ask, if you do use a sunscreen, what's the SPF level you usually go for? Right, yeah. Okay, sure. Alright. Which of these skin conditions do you experience? I'll just read them out and you let me know if any of them are relevant to you. Okay, blushing easily, burning like sunburn, breakouts and blackheads. Yeah, we do get the odd blackheads here and there. Many people do. They're a little bit too common for our own liking. Itching and tingling. Okay. Interesting. Dry, rough, flaky skin. Let me look. Yeah. It's not flaking. There's a little few dry patches. Okay. Have you found that it's flaked any other time other than today? Okay. And do you have irritated, sensitive and red skin at times? Right. Oily shine? That's one that I have, yeah. It's kind of good in that you kind of look younger for longer, and bad in that you seem to just break out forever. We've all got our things, don't we? Tightness. So when I say tightness, it's like it feels like your skin is being pulled. You know, like when you have a shower and you get out of that shower and it feels like if you smile your face will just snap or crack into pieces. So usually after a shower. Okay. That can show that you probably need to moisturise a little bit more. Maybe use something a little bit more moisturising during the shower. Dull skin. This is an interesting one. Dull skin can usually just sometimes happen because a person isn't exfoliating very often. Then the dead skin cells sit on your skin and dull it down a little bit. Acne, rosacea. Okay. Yeah, rosacea seems to be a common one these days. Scarring. Yeah. Not really seeing anything there. Okay. Yeah. So even things like you know, like a pimple that's dyed and it will sometimes discolour, that can be a scarring thing as well. Okay. Pigmentation. Okay. And what about lines, wrinkles and loss of firmness? Fine lines. Worry about wrinkles, don't we all? Yeah. And firmness. Let me just have give you a little bit of a pinch on your cheeks there. Right. You got good bouncing back, which is good. Collagen's not quite gone yet. This is what we love to hear. Infections and pustules, well, I can tell by looking at you that's not an issue. And dehydration. Dehydration and dryness are slightly different. Dehydration is a condition. It's like when you haven't had enough water and your skin feels dehydrated, but you can drink more liquids and then your skin will be hydrated. Whereas dry skin's a condition that just, it doesn't go away. You've either got dry skin or you don't. Yeah. Sure. Okay, please check any of the following that apply to you. So I'll just read these out and tick them as they occur, okay? Arthritis, claustrophobia, depression or anxiety, hormonal disorders, perimenopause, once a month tension, things like that. Hepatitis. Are you a smoker? Okay, because smoking can affect skin. It can cause dehydration. And have you ever had Botox, fillers, collagen? Okay, asthma. Yeah, asthma is another popular one a lot of people have. Yeah. And do you wear contact lenses? Alright, what about diabetes? A history of it in your family? Okay. Headaches? Yeah, that's a common one. We definitely, many of us get those from time to time. What about joint or muscle ache? Sinus issues? Sort of pain in this region? And are you pregnant or breastfeeding? Okay, have to ask. Birth control, not necessarily applicable. Are you yourself a diabetic? Have I got the question twice? I do. Eczema? Yeah, eczema's another common one. Eczema, asthma, wheat and dairy intolerance, they're all sort of part of the same family. Are you HIV? Psoriasis? What about stiff and sore neck? It's not necessarily related to your skin, but they're just questions on the list there. That's obviously, if we did go ahead with a facial, then I know that I can concentrate on those areas. High or low blood pressure? Alright. What about cold sores? Okay. Dermatitis? Do you suffer from epilepsy at all? And is there a history of cancer in your family? Okay. And do you have shoulder tightness as well? And what about varicose veins, or asparagus veins as I like to call them? Okay. And one last question. Heart problems, pacemaker? Alright, again, those questions are just relevant if I'm doing the facial. I need to know these things for sure. Alright. Moving over to the next page. Do you sunbathe or use tanning beds? Have you had any surgery within the last 12 months? Even if it's a small surgery. Are you currently on any medication that might dry out your skin, cause thinning of the blood, any kind of medication? Okay, so even that's interesting, because that means that if you did buy one of our moisturisers, we can add some essential oils to tailor it to, you know, alleviate those conditions. Right. Have you had any chemical peels, laser, microdermabrasion, resurfacing? Alright, so those things are relevant because if you have had those recently, they'll take the top layer of your skin away in a less natural type of way, say, than an exfoliant, and it can give a sort of false reading on the skin that you're presenting with now. Okay. Are you currently using any products that contain the following: glycolic, lactic, HAH, AHA, or vitamin derivatives? Take some vitamins now and again. Yeah, these are more like something like retinol, things like that. Acid peels and such. Yeah. And have you ever had any reaction to a cosmetic product, a salon treatment, or medication, or food? Have you got any food allergies? Right. Well, you'll be pleased to know that Joli products are vegan and nut oil free, so any nut allergies are not relevant, as in it won't affect you if you buy the products or use the products. Yeah. And wheat and milk and things like that, they're non-issues because they're vegan, so no dairy. Okay. Well, that was the next question, was any known food allergies. And also food allergies and other things like that can affect your skin overall. Yeah, it could be the cause of redness and things like that. And are you under the care of any medical practitioner or dermatologist at the moment for any specific condition? Right, okay. Fantastic. Alright, so that's the questions out of the way. Now I'm just going to have a quick look at your skin and just give you sort of an overall, just to get a feel for how it is feeling. Sure. Okay. So yeah, not bad, not bad. If I get you there. Okay. Not bad. So turn your head that way. And the other way. Right. Look up, tilt your head up. And down. Okay. Yeah, it's bouncing back nicely, which is good. That's what we like to see. Yeah. Okay. So overall, what I can see from looking at you and having these questions answered and such, you could definitely use something nice and light around the eye area. It's not necessarily that any kind of wrinkles are an issue right now, but the earliest you start, the better, because when you're younger, wrinkles aren't a thing. Anything, maybe they're never going to happen to you, but eventually they start to show on all of us. Yeah, especially for those who laugh a lot and things like that. I mean, that's really a good thing. That's a really good sort of set of wrinkles to have, I think. Yeah. And I feel like overall you could definitely use a nice sort of exfoliation. If you didn't want to buy the Enliven Facial Scrub, another option is an exfoliating glove or a loofah. Yeah, maybe 3 every 3rd day, so maybe 2 to 3 times a week, max 3. No, not daily. Don't want to exfoliate daily. Your skin sheds every 7 days, so 7 days is the ideal, and once in between doesn't hurt. Yeah, I do mine twice a week. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, moisturiser. Let me see. I feel like the whipped cream would be a little bit too strong. It's very sort of like really rich anti-aging type of product. A light moisturiser is probably a bit too light. Yeah, that's more for youth and if you live out in hotter climates and things like that, which in Victoria, yeah, it's barely an issue. except obviously sometimes in the summer. Yeah, I do switch between them sometimes. I'll use a light moisturiser in the summer and then another moisturiser in the winter. Yeah. So one of our most popular moisturisers is the Rich Cream. It's made for normal to moderately dry skin. Yeah, it can be used on your face, your neck, your hands, your elbows, your body as well. Though we do have Luscious body butter for the body if you didn't want to use your moisturiser so liberally. Yeah. And so yeah, that's the Fluffy Lime Eye Cream. That was one I was recommending. Yeah, and Skin Serum. Skin Serum's a sort of underrated, overlooked product. People don't sort of think about Skin Serum much when they think of skincare. And it's not a product that everybody would need. For me, it's more if you have scarring, acne, you know, when the pimples are dying and you need something to heal them. And sometimes when you have a breakout and that breakout dies and then starts to heal, you start to get sort of flaking around the areas. Skin Serum can help with that. And also the deeper lines on the forehead. Yeah. It's randomly good for burns as well if you happen to burn yourself or cut yourself or a skinned knee. Yeah. Well, I remember this one time I was with a friend and her son had fallen over on the concrete and he'd skinned his knee. And I'd, put a little bit on my finger and went up to him and he was kind of like, and then I dabbed it on and just patted around the wound and he just kind of went quiet because he realised it didn't sting and it felt better. Yeah, just a little random story. And then we have the cleansing range. So we've got this here is the facial wash. Yeah, nice. Give it a good shake before use. And this one here can come custom scented as well. So you've got choice of to suit your skin type. That's right, so anybody can use it. So even though our skins are slightly different, I would use this, and even though I'm older, I would still use the oily essential oil blend because my skin is oily and I am still prone to the odd breakout. But then in your case it would use different essential oils to suit your particular skin type because there's dry, oily, normal, very dry. There's combination skin where sometimes it's dry across the forehead, oily on the cheeks. Yeah. And it's got a very mild, gentle scrub in it. You barely feel it, but it does just remove those dead skin cells. Yeah. Yeah, daily. Yeah, it can be used daily. And then we've got the toner. I mean, aside from anything else, it makes a really nice sound. Yeah, have a smell. Yeah. Chamomile. Very, very soothing on the skin. That's why it's called cleansing toner. It really just cleanses off any residual residue, refreshes, tones, hence why it's called toner. So toner is sort of primarily like you use hot water to release to sort of soften your skin and open up your pores, and then you cleanse. That gets all of the grime out of the nooks and crannies and such, and then you follow with a toner which cools the skin and just kind of firms everything, tightens it, tones the skin. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so that's the skincare range. Did you have any questions with regards to anything that we covered today? Right. Yeah, okay. What I can do is I can give you an information sheet with regards to those questions. Yeah, I have them in my file over there. I'll handle you one on the way out. And yeah, when would you like to make an appointment? Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah. So the choice of facials, okay, well we have the mini facial, that's a 30-minute facial. It's a quick in and out, but it still gives you everything you need. And then there's the deep cleanse facial. That's usually like really about blackhead extraction and things like that. A little bit more on the uncomfortable side, but produces really good results. And then we have the standard facial and then the deluxe facial, and the difference between those two is the deluxe has a massage for the stiff neck and shoulders and such, and the standard facial doesn't. So that one's an hour and a half and the standard is an hour. Great. Yeah, sure. Alright. Well, that's fantastic. I can set up that appointment and you'll get a text message soon. Alright, fantastic. Well, lovely to meet you today. Wonderful to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Great. Have a nice afternoon. Bye.